Boston Celtics win their 18th championship. 38-year-old Al Horford finally gets a ring. Player that's been in playoff games the longest, first time. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, first duo to have so many playoff games or wins, win a championship. Jaylen Brown wins the Finals MVP. Could have probably been Jason Tatum. Who knows? Could have probably been the first time ever where it could have been Cole, Finals MVP. But I think Jaylen Brown was most consistent. Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford plus 20 in Game 5. Wow. Drew Holiday, first player to join a team in his first season for the Bucks and Celtics to win a championship. Joe Mazzulla, youngest coach since Bill Russell, age 35, to win a championship. Kristaps Porzingis comes back. He says he'll rather die on the court. Once I saw him playing and I looked up, and the Boston Celtics at one point were 9 for 21 in threes. The game was a wrap. I've been saying that Game 4, I think that since the Boston Celtics had a bad shooting start to the first and second quarter, they were just like, you know what, it's all good. We'll just win it at the crib for Game 5. Boston Celtics were just flat out the better team the whole season. Just like I said, the Mavs can't do what they were doing to the other teams that they were doing to the Boston Celtics, because the Boston Celtics are plus 60 win team for a reason. Just a little quick about the Mavs, but Kyrie Irving was averaging 17, 16 points for this series, was shooting bad. PJ Washington wasn't shooting good. The lobs were getting shut down. They were doing that the whole playoffs. And Luka was getting called out for defense. They were one-on-oneing him, isolating him. The rotations, you had Exum playing, you had Tim Hardaway playing, and Boston Celtics just have 5 guys that you could lay out all in the perimeter, and all those 5 guys can literally shoot and are lethal shooters, and that's so hard to guard. Boston Celtics are a team, put it this way. When you have like Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, or Kristaps Porzingis, or half-court making Pritchard, there are all high IQ players on that court. Not only are they going to make the better pass, they're going to make the best pass. Like, if you think you're open, they're going to pass it to where you're even more open. And it's hard to beat a team like that, especially when you have a guy like Derek White that's losing teeth, blocking Derek Lively, a 7-footer, and Drew Holiday, who's moving without the ball and knows how to cut and knows where to be. I mean, like I said, plus 20, it's incredible. This Boston Celtics team, the maturity of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, being in the conference finals, playing with Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward. Kyrie Irving sits out, and then they go on this tremendous conference finals run without Kyrie Irving, showing they don't need him. And Jason Tatum, he's not the guy. His booty gets small, or butthole gets tight in fourth quarters. They're not clutch. After that Warriors finals, when they lost in 6, they matured, and it showed. They played perfect team basketball. This was literally a team effort, and it was incredible to watch. You guys probably say, yeah, the finals was boring. It sucked because it was lopsided. The Denver Nuggets could have probably beat the Boston Celtics. The Timberwolves could have beat the Boston Celtics. Well, they need to beat the Dallas Mavericks first before we can get to that conversation. Although I do agree that matchups are important, and then maybe if the Timberwolves and Nuggets were there, the big man matchup would have been hard for the Boston Celtics. I don't think so, because they had Al Horford and Porzingis. But yeah, of course, but it just came down to defense, the better team, and that was the Boston Celtics, like I just said. I had Mavs in 6. I thought that the star power of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving was enough. Clearly, I was wrong, because watching the actual finals, I'm like, wait a minute. Their 5th option is Drew Holiday? That's a stacked Boston Celtics team. And here's even the crazier part. It's going to be hard for the Dallas Mavericks to come back, because that West is loaded. it ain't going to be hard for the Boston Celtics to come back because I still think they're favored next year if they run it back or maybe get a little better, unless like some crazy, tremendous or like dramatic trades happen in the East. I just think the Boston Celtics are going to be back next year in the finals. But I'm glad that Jason Tatum, Al Horford, especially because I'm a big fan of Al Horford ever since his Florida days, has finally got a ring. Like I said, as far as the game, it's just Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic was like 0 for 5 for threes until like the fourth quarter. Kyrie Irving shot, I think, before like the second half was like 3 for 11, 3 for 12, something like that. Daniel Gafford, when you're not throwing lobs to him, there's really not more he can do. I mean, he could block, he could play defense, but he can't shoot. Like I said, Exum was cool for those 10 minutes he played. Matt Cleaver, they were leaving open. He couldn't make threes. And there was just, like I said, just like the Timberwolves for the last series with the Mavericks, who was their consistent third option? Shit, who was their consistent second option? Because Kyrie Irving wasn't. He was. I hate to say it, but he was kind of getting shut down. Like it's hard to shut Luka down. But wow, man, like it's the Boston. Brad Stevens is just what a amazing job. From being the head coach, you get promoted to being the president of basketball operations. You bring Porzingis, you bring Drew Holiday. You give more minutes for Pritchard because you're like, man, he's a solid backup. You trust Sam Hauser because Sam Hauser is nice, man. Like the way he could shoot threes quick and move without the ball, because a lot of these guys on this Boston Celtics team know how to move without the ball, and that is so key to winning championships, to winning and being a good team. The Mavericks weren't. It was you take a turn. You take a turn. I'm getting double teamed. PJ, you need to hit this three. He can't. It's just Dallas Mavericks got to make some trades or some acquisitions in the offseason. That's all I'm gonna say. But the Boston Celtics deserve all the flowers. Like I said, you could have maybe been a little debatable of who wins the Finals MVP, but I'm happy that it's Jaylen Brown. There's that conversation right now of who's better. Is it Jaylen Brown? Is it Jason Tatum? That's up for debate. But Jaylen Brown was playing defense, and it was incredible as defense, especially on Irving. And I can't wait to see next year, see how teams reload up and go after it. By the way, like it hasn't been back-to-back champions. The Celtics won, the Nuggets won, the Bucks won. The Warriors took one, and I like how where the league is right now. You have, like they pretty much made the rules where you can't have three superstars on one team, which you kind of can. I mean, the Phoenix Suns, I guess, were like that, but you actually need an actual full basketball team to win championships. And I like how it's different teams winning every year. That means it's competitive. Like I said, yeah, was it lopsided? Unfortunately, it was for the finals, but I enjoyed it. I mean, the Dallas Mavericks, if anything, should have took game 2. They effed up by losing game 2. They had it. Luka did that turnover like that, and then it went for a layup at the last second or last minute, and they blew it. But other than that, I do hope eventually we do get a finals that's neck to neck every game that goes to 7 or some shit like that. And I hope it's my Chicago Bulls eventually in the 5 or 10 years, but I doubt it. They're going to be in the finals. How about that for once? I had to throw that in there. But you guys let me know in the comments below what you think about the finals. Are you happy that the Celtics won? I know my boy who's going to comment on this is going to be mad because the Dallas Mavericks didn't win. But it is what it is. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.